And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. On first down, they'll start out with Akers. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
From the 27, Jackson. They're looking for Judy, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Eccles. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions. Can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
On first and 10, it's Swift. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. And this looks like a roughing call. So now a fresh set of downs, first and 10 after roughing the passer. Once again, it's Swift. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4. Second down. Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6. Here's a quick throw caught out wide. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
On 3rd down, here comes Swift. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. On 4th down, Felder. He's got his tight end Fryermuth right side. And the Lions are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
I don't know about you, but I'm going to give them a little bit of credit for fortitude there. 4th and inches, and they don't run the football. Normally, you just wedge your way through, fall forward, find the yardage. They took a shot and put it in the air, and it paid off.
Maybe they saw the defense overcommitting.
A lot of confidence there, though, because even if they overcommit, you just want to make sure you get the first down. You throw an incompletion on 4th down there, they're going to second-guess you the rest of the game.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. One more time with Swift. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Now the Lions, they send out the field goal unit here. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is indeed good. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter.
Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. It's Devin Lloyd with a pick. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
First down Lions on a pickup of 13. This is Swift on the counter. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. That's a gain of 7, and will leave them with 2nd and goal coming up.
That's good hard running right there on 1st and goal. That gets them down to the 2 and puts a lot more pressure on that defense.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And now off to the races down the right side. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Tennessee.
And as we've talked to special teams coaches, that theme of being aggressive continues to come through, doesn't it? When they moved the kickoff back to the 35, it was going to cut down on the number of opportunities. But if you've got a special guy, you give him the green light no matter where he fields it in the end zone. And in this case, it paid off handsomely.
He fielded it deep in the range of emotions. Maybe like, oh, no, don't. And then all of a sudden you see him break it, and you're like, yeah, way to go.
Yeah, sometimes you have to remind your head coach that he approved the green light for bringing it out from deep in the end zone, and that's exactly why he did.
Pass midfield, look out. 30, 10, 5, and he'll bring it back all the way. Touchdown, Lions. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with, and they say challenge it, kick into it. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. A dangerous return man showing it here. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And they, almost to a man, told us how excited they are to be playing in this traditional Thanksgiving game. But we have to remember, this is a team that lost on Sunday. Now they get a very quick turnaround to play again. How difficult is that to do?
It's difficult under any normal circumstance when you're coming off of a loss and you have a quick turnaround. The first thing is to put the loss behind you and move forward. But when you play on Thanksgiving Day, everyone's watching you. It's an added bonus, though, because now you put the loss behind you. Get that taste out of your mouth, because the taste you want is victory, turkey, and pumpkin pie.
Will go down as a gain of 6, and now it's 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Now for the point after. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And they are losers of 2 straight coming into this Thursday night game. Is it more difficult, CD, when you take a losing streak into a quick turnaround game like this?
It certainly is, because you don't get time to work on the issues that you've had throughout the season that caused you to have the record that you're having. You can't really get those set. So now you're trying to minimize those and maximize what you've been doing well. And I remember a game recently where one of the assistant coaches said to the head coach, forget our running back rotation. This guy has a hot hand, and they rode him to a victory. Those are things you have to look out for in games like this.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson. Looking underneath, he's got Akers. And he's got some space here. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A gain of 32 that time. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Jackson will throw again. Pass complete to Judy on the out route. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. So 8 yards on the completion there, and that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a 2-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
He got maybe a half yard at most, but eventually they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
And when the defense wins and gets up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This will be caught inside the 10. And the Titans are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. Well, it's a shuffle pass, and it's complete. Touchdown! A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Titans are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend. But you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
On second down, Swift. And only a couple there up to about the 23-yard line. You know, thinking of this Thanksgiving Day game, Charles, for years we've heard you talk. Why don't we open up these Thanksgiving Day games instead of just being Detroit and Dallas every year, give other teams a shot to host? I know you're kind of like me, a bit of a traditionalist, but what do you have to say to that, CD?
I think it's a great argument, and the league could support it quite well, where you could move games to different spots and still be very successful on Thanksgiving Day. But you're exactly right. I am a traditionalist. I really don't want Detroit and Dallas to give up those slots. I like the fact that we watch them each and every year. But what I really like is that the league added a third game in 2006. And usually it's division rivals, but that's the third one of the day, and it caps off a great day of football.
Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. And it'll be Titan football. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And they are back down to the 500 mark after 2 straight losses. And, Charles, this is a team that, to be frank, their play has really dropped off the last couple of weeks.
And, Brandon, I think there's a sense around the building that they can't let this losing streak get any worse than it is. Because if they were to lose here and fall below 500, then you're playing catch-up the rest of the way. They've got to take a stand and make it stop right now.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want, because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On the give, this is their fullback. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
After a play like that, it should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
He does not go down easily, you're right, but he did there. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Now, quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there. Saying not so fast to a good drive. They had marched to the end zone the last time out.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's caught left side by Judy. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. Field goal coming from Younghoe Koo. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. Koo knocks this one through the post, and this is back down to a 7-point game. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps him inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they are back down to 500 following the loss last week. Consistency. And he fires one that's intercepted. picked up by Christian Fulton. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So the Titans bring the offense back out to go for two. After the interception, here's Jackson. And he will get into the end zone as they will indeed claim a one-point lead. And there's a quick momentum swing. INT return for a pick six, and then the two-point conversion good.
And even if you're keeping your wits about you, you're thinking to yourself, okay, extra point block team going into the game now. All of a sudden you're hearing defense, everyone's scrambling for their helmets and throwing down their cups of water. That's a great position for them to be in, trying to score against that team. A little bit disjointed.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Looking to throw. Felder. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And they will get him down, but not before he gets very good yardage there, as that will lead us right into the 2-minute warning. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up the screen. You don't want to throw it too early to have the defense react too quickly, and you definitely don't want to throw it too late, and that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Swift going to try up the middle. 53 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. Well, CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but man, his first step is so quick too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
And they're going to move it down the inside the 25.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick six just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
On 1st and 10, Felder. This is caught by Williams. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. DeAndre Swift, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Dan Campbell makes the call. His guys will go for 2 here. They'll try and throw for it. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Amani Hooker.
It's interesting that when it comes to 2-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he returns this to the 22.
The Titans take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
A very limited time left to get in the field goal range before the half, and they tried to get it all on one throw right there.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Jackson. He's going to look deep for more. They've got his man complete. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
First down.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Now it's Jackson. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. To throw is Jackson. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. Moore, the man in motion. They'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he will take this one in for a Titans touchdown. A.J. Dillon in the final seconds of the first half. And the Titans have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. They motion the running back out left. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson, and he's got it. The try for 2 is successful, and it pushes the lead up to a field goal. So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. Fields the squib kick right around the 30. Penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward. So we're at halftime here in the annual Thanksgiving game in Detroit. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Both these These offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? He will return this from deep in the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
26-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
They run out of the gun with Swift. And he'll take this up to the 30, a gain of 4.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
18 Rattlers.
On third down, Felder looking deep downfield. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. And the Titans are going to take possession of the football. Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smile.
Yeah, we didn't jinx him at all, did we? No. Because ordinarily that happens. Things fall off, but not in this case. I think a lot of it goes back to his technique. His ability to see the quarterback throw the ball while understanding where the receiver is running his route allows him to make a lot of plays on the football, and he's taking it away at a really high rate.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. That ball caught, Brandon Ayuk. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Now Jackson. Throw left side complete. That's Moore. And it's a Titans touchdown. DJ Moore from 13 yards out. And the Titans take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. There's the Titan kick team as they run up and send this one away. From deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond. Not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They didn't know what crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Operating from the gun. Felder, he finds his man, complete. It's Crawford. And he's tackled at the 38, but they doubled their yardage. The play started at the 19, and they gained 19. So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it's second down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down.
The passing game's been struggling a bit today, and that was the latest example. Haven't been getting much yardage out of it, and now on his back after the last play, he faces third and long.
Throwing on third and long. Felder. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Amani Hooker. And the Titans are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
Full to run show Fadukasi there on the tackle. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Moore, the man in motion. From the 25 on 2nd down. Jackson. They'll find Ayuk open right side. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out and ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
So 2nd and 10 now here in the third quarter from Detroit.
No, we changed it.
Jackson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's what it is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Felder. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Titans are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys have been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
My ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Back now at Ford Field. They've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. He had to fight that time. Ran through one tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10. At the 29-yard line.
Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but he did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. Koo knocks this one through the post, and that will extend their lead even further. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
And he's going to be out of bounds. Here's the run back. We'll leave him shy of the 20-yard line.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Ed one told me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. And this offense on 3rd down today, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. He finds his man, complete. It's Crawford.
Let's go now.
Number 8. A 10-yard gain.
Move it, 19.
4th down.
Mustang 19.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Bryce Hall. And the Titans are going to take possession of the football. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Aiden Hutchinson in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and this is scooped up by the Lions. The big fella, the 20, 10, 5, and into the end zone. A scoop and score on the fumble return for the Detroit touchdown. Extra point forthcoming. And the lead will shrink to 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Another important fourth quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
You say that with accusatory tones. But you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering whether they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
A nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back. And the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth quarter lead. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 110 yards rushing for it here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. They'll run right here with Swift. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
To throw on 3rd down, Felder. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 33. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Back to throw. Felder. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And he is going to lose yardage here. He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Oh, I know it goes against the grain here. It totally goes against it, but you've got to drop the ball in that situation. He makes a catch, but he loses yards and doesn't get out of bounds.
2nd and 11.
Alert! Alert!
Here's a handoff to Swift running left. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point you have to have a splash play in there as well.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
Let's go. Go, check. Go, check.
try it here. He's back to throw. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And as a result, it'll be Titan football on the turnover on downs. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
Fourth quarter, holding on to a lead. Fullback carry, 3 or 4 yards. I guess that's what you're looking for.
And it just brings back memories for me because I remember my coaches in this situation. I remember one time my head coach into his headset telling the offensive coordinator, I want the big boy carrying the ball. And that's what you have in this spot. Him covering up on the ball, taking care of it, and grinding out yardage.
The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. To give to the fullback on the dive. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. On now is the Titans punter. He'll boot it away from about his 35. Yeah, this is a high kick, but it's not going anywhere. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. Offense ready to kick off their next drive. A kind of a lucky break on the prior drive, Charles. The turnover on downs that the offense had didn't come back to bite them after the other side. Their defense came through, was able to hold them without any points.
I agree with you, partner. A little bit of a lucky break indeed, but you know what they'd say to